what's up everybody? That Car Guy Eddie here. Today another video. Today is an initial reaction and impressions video. For those of you that have watched, I kind of slightly lightweight have a problem buying and selling cars, and this is my latest. Yes, I purchased an SUV. The last car that I actually purchased was a 2021 Toyota Camry Hybrid, and you know, it just wasn't big enough. While it got good gas mileage and it looked the part, it just didn't really fit the whole family. Which is great for going to and from work, but anywhere else, you know, and you'll see that if you watch my 5,000 mile review and my 10,000 mile review. But this is not about the Camry. This is about the 2022 Hyundai Santa Fe. Hyundai. Did I buy a Hyundai? I 100% bought a Hyundai, right? But look, if I covered the badge, look, if I go like this, and it doesn't look like a Hyundai. It really doesn't. One thing I can tell you about Hyundai is over the past couple of years, they've really stepped up their design game, both powertrain-wise and also looks-wise. For those of you that don't know, they actually stole the chief designer from BMW, who was in charge of making all of the M cars for like the last 35 years. And that's why when you see a Hyundai, you're like, wow, does that look kind of good? Same thing with Kia. Oh, the Kia looks pretty good. It's because that's actually happening. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do a quick little interior review first, because we got some people coming, because my neighborhood people like to walk. So why don't we come over here and do the interior? Okay, so first of all, this is the limited trim. So the limited trim comes with a lot of options. One of the things when I was looking for a car was I wanted quite a few options, and I didn't originally set out to buy the Santa Fe. I actually set out to buy the Santa Cruz, but the Santa Cruz just wasn't quite big enough. A couple cool things about the limited trim that's actually on the Hyundai. Yeah, you want to come around the other side? One of the cool things about the limited trim that's actually on the Hyundai itself is that it actually has a digital display here, and it has a digital display here. So this is a 10.25 digital display, and this over here is actually a 12.25 digital display. So it's about 2 inches bigger, and the digital display is good. It recognizes very fast. It has good contrast. I haven't had any issues with it where I've had any trouble getting it to flip between modes or anything like that. It's not laggy. The infotainment that does come on all Hyundais is actually really good infotainment. The one caveat that I have, and I'll show you when I start it up here, is everything is blue. I don't know, can you see that in here? Kind of. Everything is blue. So the problem is that when you're first getting used to using the infotainment system here, everything being the same color is a little annoying, because you find yourself looking away from the road and looking down to figure out your infotainment. Now, one of the great things I actually like about the Santa Fe is the buttons. There are a lot of buttons on this thing. In fact, 73 buttons within my reach. Now, that includes all of the buttons on the center console, the overhead buttons, the buttons on the right, and a lot of buttons. It does have something that's really cool that a lot of manufacturers are going to. They're going to the fly-by-wire push button gear selectors. You know, I've had Fords that have had the rotary knob. My wife's truck actually that has a rotary knob on it as well, and I don't mind them as long as they're fast. You know, it's like when you press the button, and that's going to be annoying. When you press the button, you want to shift into the gear, it's got to be quick. There can't be a lag time, and it is pretty quick. Because it is a limited trim, it does have the heated and cooled seats, which are really nice, and it does have this beautiful two-tone leather interior. It really is a very good looking car. It's one of those premium things. It's got a really good commanding driving size. And the cool thing about the Santa Fe is in 2020, they actually redid the Santa Fe, because this was their 3-row SUV. And they've effectively taken out the third row, pushed the second row back 6 inches because they didn't want to steal from the Palisade. The Palisade, of course, being Hyundai's new 3-row SUV. It does have a panoramic sunroof, which is really cool. The jury is still out on the panoramic sunroof. It does look cool. I do think it looks incredibly premium, and for the kids in the back, it's really nice as well. I will let you know how heat transfer is. I live in Sacramento. It's regularly 110 degrees here, and it does get hot. It does have a shade that goes across, and I was told the shade is non-transparent. So we'll see if the shade actually makes it dark in here. And and it looks like it does. So that's good. So if you didn't want it to see through this at all, this is a blackout shade, which is actually really great. Wow, it really makes inside of here feel small when you close that thing. That's crazy to me. So what else? Let's look at the back seat. So this is why I bought the Santa Fe. The Santa Fe is wide enough and it's deep enough so that it actually has three people can actually sit back here. I do have the baby seat in the middle, and I do have 3 seats. I actually can sit back here and shut the door, and I actually fit with the kid. I do have ample leg room, and this is sitting behind me. I probably have 3 or 4 inches there, and of course I do have headroom here without the hat. Yeah, I have a lot of headroom. So you do have a nice creature comfort sitting back here in the Limited. You have heated seats, you have peasant blockers so that people don't need to see you in the back. You have your own HVAC back here, HVAC system. You do have a 115 outlet as well as 2 USB plugs. And these seats, of course, do recline. So in these newer Santa Fe's, you're getting more room back here, but it was the width that I needed more than anything. Let's go around and step around to the back. Once again, I gotta talk about the design, right? Kind of Audi-ish, huh? A little bit. It's definitely German, I'll tell you that. It definitely does look German, and you know, more and more cars are going to that. Because it is the Limited trim, it does have a lot of options. One of the options is, of course, being power liftgate and things like that. But you can see I already have stuff back here that I will be taking to work. But the box is a great thing because it actually gives you a good size comparison for how big the back of this really is. So this is, I would say, like a mid-size SUV. The best part is actually what's under the hood. So let's go around front. I know what you're saying. Eddie, come on, you're a car guy, right? You're a car guy. Why did you buy an SUV? Well, I'll tell you why I bought an SUV. One, I wanted something that was all-wheel drive, and this is all-wheel drive. But more importantly, it has Hyundai's 2.5 liter SmartStream turbocharged motor. It makes about 290 horsepower and 311 foot-pounds of torque. And that's mated to a 8-speed dual-clutch wet transmission. And that's attached to Hyundai's H-Drive all-wheel drive. What does that all mean? It's very, very efficient, and it actually has quite a bit of punch. It was funny, Adam and I were looking at this last night, just talking about how German it looks. You could really, really tell that the lead designer from BMW, all of his harkings of coming over, really changing the Hyundai brand. For a long time, Hyundai wanted to copy the Japanese brands, you know, Toyota Camry, or the Toyota Camry, the Hyundai Accord, even the Civic and stuff, when they released their Elantras back in the day, and they never did a really good job at it. Well, it seems like Hyundai set its sights on copying German manufacturers, and this almost look, if you just took a picture of this, I would think Volkswagen. It's got the look. It's even got a round coolant bottle. Like this, I mean, what manufactures a round coolant bottle? VW, right? So Audis will have that, all that fun stuff. Cool thing I saw about this, one of the neat little kind of gizmos is the attachment to check your filter cartridge here. It's really cool. You actually just pop this little thing, you fold these like this, and then you can actually check your filter element, which is really cool. I think more manufacturers need to do that so that, you know, the consumer can do it. And I think that's what Hyundai is trying to do, is they're trying to make it so that the consumer can do it. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room for a second. It is a Hyundai, and every single person I know that have owned a Kia or own a Hyundai has had crazy motor problems. Now, all of these people have also told me that Hyundai and Kia have also stepped up and replaced their motor, but we all know that I don't like having motor problems. Hyundais do come with America's best warranty, which is 10 years, 100,000 miles, which I will need because I put probably 1,500 miles on this thing a month. So the jury is yet to be seen on the longevity. But stay tuned, because I'm going to do 5,000 mile review videos, 10,000 mile review videos. So I'll get there and I'll let you know all about my ideas and what I really think about the Santa Fe. Another thing about the motor is actually direct injection and port injected, which is kind of a cool thing. So there are inherent problems with direct injection motors because your fuel is not cleaning the valves. So you get carbon deposit built up on the valves. a port injected motor sprays fuel on the valves to clean the valves, but it doesn't get as good of fuel mileage as direct injection nor the power. Well, what Hyundai's done is they've made direct injection and port injected motors. So it has 2 fuel injectors per cylinder that spray on the valve and spray on the top, which is cool. Hopefully that will help with the longevity a little bit. Other than that, that's kind of wrapping up the initial thoughts of what I think of it. Like I said, I do think it looks really good. I got it in my favorite color, crystal white. I'm a pearl white guy. I've always liked it on cars, and when it's like 100 degrees, the white is nice. Other than that, stay tuned, like the channel, and ride hard.